Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Voices of the Voiceless podcast, numero cinco. And this week's going to be a little weird. But before we get into that, let's bring in our esteemed guest who is not eating goldfish like me, Brad Shepard. Brad, say hello to the world from down under in Georgia.
Here I am in a very secret remote location in a hotel room in Georgia. And I just want to say I was not able to do the podcast last week, and so I actually ended up going to the emergency room.
Is that right?
It is.
We have some time because we're going to talk Lesser Raw. Why were you in the ER exactly? I know why, but no one else.
So I was having some issues with my stomach, and they went through a bunch of tests and thought I may have appendicitis. And so, I was going through a CAT scan, and it was kind of a good news, bad news scenario. So they said, you don't have anything overly serious, no appendicitis, that kind of thing, but you do have a hernia in your stomach.
Oh, man.
So they kind of explained how it happens. And so apparently the hernia in the stomach was caused from lifting a heavy weight. And
what were you looking at?
Well, you for the past 5 weeks on this podcast, apparently.
Yeah. Who's been on TV and who hasn't? I'm going to raise my hand. Sorry.
I love it when a joke comes full circle. Damn.
Doesn't it? But yeah, so do you need surgery? I mean, most hernias do require it.
Yeah, I think eventually I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it? Nothing else? Okay, moving on. So you said you want to talk about some stuff before we get into Raw at all, so I give you the floor.
Yeah, another always interesting week in WWE and beyond. So we had Hulk Hogan, who is now a brand ambassador for a major gambling website. And I just want to know your thoughts on always betting on black.
Oh, that is not the name of it. That can't be. That absolutely cannot be the name of it.
No, not at all.
Okay, good. Honestly, it's what it is. I mean, I don't know. Hogan's just trying to get back into the good into the good looks, I think is the right way to put it, of WWE management society, because he is a societal figure that will never, it's just not going to go away. And so for him attempting to do something like this is very cool. In my opinion, I think it's cool. I mean, the reason I do is because he's at least trying. He's not like Virgil, who's a jackass, who's sitting at home doing nothing with himself, and other than pretending to be Xavier Woods' dad. So
did you see Virgil's greatest top 10 matches of all time? My God!
Does he have any? Does he have one?
Well, yeah, he's in several of them.
Of course he is.
Of course, you missed the classic at Wembley Stadium, Virgil versus Nails. It was like in the mid-'90s SummerSlam. Oh my God! That was the year. That was the year that Bret Hart defended the Intercontinental Championship. It was against the British Bulldog, I believe, and it was at Wembley Stadium, and he had just the Virgil just had this match with Nails. It was the total shits, but of course, it's apparently one of the top 10 matches of all time.
Of course, okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Virgil's a dumbass, but besides Virgil, Hogan's at least attempting, right? So I will give him the benefit of the doubt. He could have picked something better than a gambling website. Like, why not like Build-A-Bear or PetSmart or I don't know, Animal Friends? Like he's never hurt an animal that we know of. So I mean, he can't be the ambassador for NAACP. So he's gonna have to do something that's on his own level and that will promote goodwill. And,
Well, it's very apropos. Hulk Hogan representing a gambling site. I mean, the jokes write themselves. They're taking a gamble. He's taking a gamble. As far as I'm concerned, he should just stay out of the public spotlight.
Of course he should.
He's clearly, at this point, I don't think any PR person's this stupid. So I think that he's just not listening to anybody's advice, brother, and he's doing whatever he wants, and it's not good for him. He just needs to let it ride out.
Unfortunately, but hey, crazier things have happened. We still could see Hogan at WrestleMania 32.
Crazier things have happened. We saw TNA referee Earl Hebner being inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame coming up.
That's good. I mean, honestly, he should be in Vince McMahon's Hall of Fame. But, you know, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. It's.
Well, are they running out of people to induct, or do they always have to have a former WWE guy to induct, or what's the requirement here for the TNA for the paper Hall of Fame of TNA that may not even exist soon?
It's they're enshrining somebody who deserves to be in a Hall of Fame, and if it isn't going to be WWE's, it should be theirs. Truthfully, I mean, Errol Hebner is the most famous referee of all time. Is that? I mean, you're older than I am, most notably. Can you agree with that sentiment? Is he the most? You know, is he the most famous referee? He's been in the most controversial events. That's true. There's nobody that can argue that point. So I beg to be critical of Earl Hebner, who's paid his dues. He has, right?
Yeah. Do you see his tweet? Do you see his tweet where he was threatening to punch his daughter in the face?
I have not. Well, maybe he's not a good dad, but he's a good referee. So
he was going to give her the 1, 2, 3.
Oh my!
Yeah, someone went through digging up his tweets after the announcement. You know, that's the new thing. Of
course it is.
Is digging up people's social media from the past, when you have no life. And so that's what you do. You dig that up, and then you come back and say, oh, look, you're going to induct this guy in the Hall of Fame, and he wanted to punch his daughter. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's so
I mean,
sad.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's a dumbass for tweeting that, for thinking that, for saying that. But, give it a rest with investigations of people on social media.
Well, duh. I think anybody can agree with that. Okay, well, yeah, we got Hogan out of the way. We got what's his face? He's so important I forget his name. Hebner.
Yeah,
him out of the way.
DFW International TV distribution deal was announced.
I love that. I love that.
Well, it was a play on words, so they kind of led you to believe it was a TV deal, and and some of the sites who really are less reputable did report it that way, even though it's totally false. They've hired a company to help them get a TV deal, is essentially the bottom line. Well,
that's kind of like, for my friends in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Penguins. I know they have hockey in Carolina, but they suck. The Penguins right now went to JP Morgan, and they're trying to look for a buyer. Money is irrelevant. They're going to get bought. But same thing applies. That's not going to be the people to give them the TV deal, but they're going to help them get it. And will they get it? Yeah. Jeff Jarrett was smart enough to get TNA off the ground and had a couple great years. They're falling flat, of course, but I like the progression that they're going for. Can you be critical of them right now? Jarrett just wants to get his wrestling promotion off the ground. He's doing it. Decent job with it. I mean,
I don't think so at all. I think it's been a total failure to launch. I wrote an article about it a long time ago. It's just ridiculous how this guy's been launching this company for such a long time, over a year.
3 years,
over
3 year project.
I don't know how much more time he needs to get a company on TV and get it going. I mean, sooner or later, if he can't get a US TV deal, he's going under. So,
perhaps
that's the reality.
That might happen. It really might.
We don't want that. We want as many options as possible. It's like I say, you don't want to go to Baskin Robbins and they have one flavor. I want all 32. I like ice cream. Same thing with wrestling.
Well, starting a wrestling promotion isn't easy. Everybody knows that.
Well, he's just not nearly as good of a booker or promoter as his dad is.
That's true. Jarrett. That is very true. Okay, variable. Obviously, a hypothetical question. What if Jeff Jarrett was able to bring Jim Ross in, which was almost a reality, but it just never took form? What if that were to happen? Do you think he would have an even better chance? Or does Jim Ross only have mastered the booking end of it, not the financial side?
No, I think Jim Ross would be a good addition. He's the greatest play-by-play announcer of all time, in my opinion. He's ahead of Gordon Soley, who I would say is up there with him as well. But I don't think that's going to be a game changer at this point.
That would get. Hey, you know what though? Just having Jim Ross on and the popularity that he has brought up of himself just since he left WWE, I think would be huge, and that might alone, because they do have a talented roster. They took TNA's best wrestlers, aside from Brodus Clay or Tyrus, whatever the hell his name is.
But what's the difference between GFW and TNA? Can anyone tell me that?
Running the show. That's the whole point. Is it not? I mean, isn't she the one that's ruining the company? And yeah, folks listening, that she is ruining it. I'm sorry, it's true. They have the talent, they just don't know how to use it. I mean, if you can't really book Austin Aries and Bobby Roode properly, there's something wrong. I'm not saying I would do a better job, but I'd have a better idea of how to use them.
Speaking of Dixie Carter, she did an interview with Sports Illustrated, which just came out. You can find the link on my Twitter page at the Brad Shepard, but holy shit. So in this interview, it was completely embarrassing. I mean, she should just be embarrassed as a president, as the person in charge of TNA. I don't know how you can give an interview like this, but she defended Hulk Hogan, put him over as a person, kind of left the door open for his return. I
agree with the first one. The second one, not so much.
She admitted that TNA will be off Destination America at the end of the year unless a new deal is reached. And I have to wonder were the talent given that information ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've known the deal that Destination America wanted to pull them already, September, but it sounds like she may have wiggled her way into another few months before they decide to cancel or re-extend the deal. This
sounds like ECW's issue, but ECW knew how to book wrestlers and promote. As far as financial struggles, this is exactly what's going on.
Well, she's never seen a wrestling match. Dixie Carter had never seen a fucking wrestling match in her life when she took over TNA.
Well, she did watch TNA, but those are semantics. You are right. I just it's too similar to ECW in their financial struggles for it to survive. And if ECW couldn't survive, then TNA definitely can't. Even though WWE was pulling ratings in the high fives, low sixes, so was WCW at that point. But ECW was innovative and revolutionary. TNA has been a shit. It's been a shit.
It's been terrible.
It has, which is a shame because there are. I can think of 10 excellent matches off the top of my head. Okay, off my top of my head, 5 that I can remember vividly. But there has been some quality matches, and nobody can argue against that. For example, Austin Aries and Bobby Roode at Slammiversary, and that's just one good example.
Yeah, they let them go.
They did, which is stupid. I'm sorry.
Well, they can't afford to keep all these guys.
I know.
It is what it is now. The financial situation they're in, they're going to lose all of that top talent.
Well, why do you think the Dudleys left?
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Dudleys, so Dixie comments in this article and actually says, and this is a little gem right here. She comments that they've taken a lot of heat in TNA over bringing in former WWE talent, but that talent's always had a hot run in TNA and then left back to WWE. Now, why the fuck would you say that?
That's not that's incorrect. That's not true at all. I didn't see Kurt Angle, and I'm sure there are plenty more. Like Kurt Angle is just the biggest one.
But why do you tell the wrestling world, hey, they come to us, they get really hot, and they leave? What a moron!
Dixie just, you know how CEOs hire a board of directors. I mean, they oversee the company and say, A, if you're failing, we're going to change it, or B, we're doing great. Let's pump more money into it. Let's go to the stockholders. Everything those are just in financial terms right now. Dixie Carter needed past tense because it's too late. She needed a board to tell her what was stupid and what wasn't. Why didn't she do it? I don't know. Maybe she's dumb. But the fact of the matter is, there should have been somebody telling her, you're doing the wrong thing, stop doing the wrong thing, you're making a fool out of our company, which could have been successful on a minor note. WWE wasn't started in one day. But
Well, if she'd like some WWE talent, I've got the perfect candidate to bring into TNA.
Don't say it. Please don't.
That's ZZ.
Okay, I can agree with you there.
ZZ was signed to a WWE developmental deal. Now, there are others getting tryouts this weekend, including some tough enough contestants like Patrick Clark. But ZZ officially signed to a WWE developmental deal.
Hold on. Before we get into that, which talents that you know of, because I haven't heard this. I learned things on this podcast, too, just as well as all the viewers. Who are they bringing in for a tryout, aside from, like you just said, Patrick Clark?
Some of the names that are actually going to the tryout are Samantha Sage. Some of the non-people are Davey Barnes and Don Arner. And actually, Don's Twitter account has indicated that he was flying out there with his ring gear, so he kind of admitted it. But the names are slowly leaking out. But there's some tryouts, and it's said to be a lot of tough enough people. I don't have all of the names, but a lot.
I know Amanda is probably filming Total Divas as we speak.
Yeah, that's true. She's in. She's signed to a deal. She's filming Total Divas, and I think she's actually replacing
Naomi, which is a shame. Naomi and I did watch the first 3 seasons. Naomi and the Uso were hilarious. If from a reality show standpoint.
Yeah,
I really did enjoy their work together. And they, from what Naomi was, I'm pretty sure she was talking about this. They were, a lot of it wasn't scripted with them. They were very organic and natural, which is cool. Anywho, yeah. So like we were saying. Oh, by the way, before we get into Raw, this is from Bleacher Report, who I disdain, but I used to work for them, so I kind of have to enjoy some of their work. This is the headline. Quote, Hulk Hogan desperately needs to step out of the spotlight for the near future, unquote. 100% absolutely correct. Without even reading the article.
Who's the fucking Captain Obvious who wrote that?
I don't know.
Hello!
I can tell you. Well, Bleacher Report is what it is, Captain Obvious. But I did used to work for them, so I can't say many bad things. Ryan Dilbert, who is a great guy, so I'll give him a pass. He's a very cool dude. Anyway, so Raw, Monday Night Raw. It's going to be
no. Before we get to Raw,
what else?
I've got to get your take. I want John Fisher's hot take on ZZ and WWE.
As you know, I was a proponent for Tough Enough. I did. I thought the show was different. I didn't say it was good or bad. It was different. There were some entertaining moments, some terrible moments, some very inspiring moments, and some uninspiring. ZZ, in and of itself, is a very uninspiring figure and an uninspiring character in the entire show. What I think he brought to the show was comic relief, and that anyone can go try out.
How low has WWE set the bar now?
They want a Santino figure, but here's the problem: they don't need one. And Santino wasn't organically created overnight. It took years because his early FCW promos were Rusev-esque. He was I don't know if he was Russian, how he was portrayed in his FCW vignettes, but he was a brawler and a sumo master. That was his a pseudo, thank you, pseudo like hip tosses and all of that. That's what he was supposed to be doing. But they turned him into a comic sideshow, which I have to admit, I loved Santino. I thought he was hilarious. The honkometer is the greatest meter of all time. Yes, it even beats Axel's Royal Rumble count. But ZZ, no, that's dumb. I mean, if they were going to give anybody, it should have been Tanner, who I don't know if he's going to be trying out or not. Tanner was the a million times better the athlete. And ZZ's lazy. He's absolutely lazy. I don't understand why they're bringing him in to be. It's to be Santino, and you know that ZZ has no innate and organic wrestling skill, and to be a quality wrestler in this industry, you at least have to have in my opinion, the God-given talent to do it. Things can be taught. You know, Orton can't do 450 splashes or the moves that like a Sami Zayn can do, but he has the God-given ability, and it was passed down. Just as him as an example.
I have to ask you. Let's forget about Orton. You're going to put our listeners to sleep even talking about Randy Orton.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah. I want to know your opinion, yes or no. Do you think ZZ's tits are bigger than Brie Bella's? Yes or no?
Oh, they are. Absolutely. But here's the problem. I think Brie Bella is extremely attractive. I dig the flannel outdoorsy look. So that's just me.
Could you imagine ZZ, as in Pam Anderson at Baywatch, doing the running jog down the beach as his huge man tits are jumping up and down?
Well, here's the problem.
Trampoline.
He'd get too tired halfway to Brie Bella and have to lay down for 10 minutes. So the scene would get cut short just due to no stamina or endurance. Are you done grilling me? Are you done? Because we have things to do. We have to get to Raw. I'm leaving us 15 minutes for Night of Champions, which I feel like is enough time. So we have about like 15 minutes for Raw. Just so you know, and
another 5 minutes to put yourself over. We know you do that at the end of every show.
Well, yeah, no kidding. That's the whole point. I am full-fledged heel right now. I talk about Orton. I think Hulk Hogan's a cool guy, and I think Z's no. That's all a joke. So how about this? I'm going to propose something live on the air. Instead of doing the Raw recap through the entire show, why don't we talk about high moments? And our top 3 of what was great and top 3 of what was bad. This is all on the fly. I feel like that would be better. Night of Champions is on Sunday. That's way more important than Raw because Raw had some holes, but it had some great moments too. What do you think?
I think it had more holes than Swiss cheese, and I think if we're going to do a greatest segments piece, it's going to take about 5 minutes for me.
I didn't say greatest. I said, you have to pick your top 3 things that you enjoyed, top 3, and the other 3 things, so 3 each, 3 that were terrible. I'm letting you start. We'll go one and one, okay? Name a moment that you thought was very good for Monday Night Raw.
3 moments. The New Day.
Okay. Okay.
The Dudley Boys and the slide trombone. There's my 3.
Okay. You got to give some examples. I mean, I come up with a great idea on the spot, and you fill 8 seconds. So clearly, there's a disconnect here. Talk about them, damn it!
Clearly, I'm mocking your rules. Oh, boy.
You are mocking my rules,
brother.
That's all that you do, brother.
Well, I thought the New Day and the Primetime Players had a good match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. I think the best thing on Raw every week has been the New Day. The New Day and, their slide trombone, and absolutely love it. I thought, I expected the New Day to win. The Dudleys appear at the ramp to kind of set up the feud. They've got the big match coming up at Night of Champions. I'm a fan of all the teams. I love the tag team scene right now.
Even those Matadors who turned heel last week for no stupid reason.
Wow.
All I heard was...
I hate that gimmick.
It's so dumb. I know.
It's just another one of their discriminatory, racist type gimmicks. I mean, they're Puerto Rican; they're not Mexican. JBL even made a joke on that Raw about them being Puerto Rican bullfighters, whatever. But the guys can actually wrestle, especially Primo. So I would love to see him just scrap that gimmick. It does look like they're going to get a gimmick change and hopefully give them an actual character rather than just that stupit bullshit.
Hey, maybe we can see Bo Dallas and the Los Matadors in a new gimmick. Who knows?
Maybe so.
Who knows?
Xavier on the slide trombone. He played the Pink Panther theme at one point.
That was awesome.
It was
unbelievable how good that was. I'm sitting here laughing. I was cracking up. My roommate's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "You gotta watch this." And he's a casual fan. Was a huge fan when I was a kid. He's my age, so. You can kind of tell where I'm going with this. He was cracking up. So no, everything was great. The Dudleys are always amazing. They are entertaining. They're innovative, even though they're older, but they're still bringing new things to the company that haven't been seen in a while.
Yep. Yeah. So that was really it. I mean, that was that was my great moment. I mean, I can tell you what sucked.
Okay, not yet. My turn. Okay, so
my turn. My turn.
Top 3 things. The 3 things that I love from Monday Night Raw. One, I have to copy the New Day was simply fantastic. I think the beginning when they were dancing with Steph and Triple H, underrated moment. I thought it was hilarious, and the crowd ate it up too. So that was always good. The trombone's a nice touch every single time. The second one, more of like a nostalgic moment for me, was Sting's match against Show. It was like WCW Nitro all over again, but I loved it. And I thought of a little justification for why Big Show was the opponent. He knows Sting. It was safe. You knew it wasn't going to even get to a finish because Rollins was going to interfere. But I still loved the way they set it up, and I enjoyed. Anytime Sting's on Raw is a great moment for me. Unless he starts a rapping gimmick and never loses a title. So at least that's not going to happen. And the third thing for me is a big controversial one. After much hate, not to me, but to the WWE themselves, I thought the women's match was a bright spot of the show. I considered everything that they did, that they wrote, the quality. Very funny. You just don't understand. You don't have a wrestling mindset. Thinking of it, and then I'll end with this because I know you're going to retort. Thinking of the booking and logic and how they're going to display it. Let's throw away and say the Divas Revolution was a success, even though it was mediocre at best. The way that they wrote
mediocre, I think that's being generous. I call it the Divas Dissolution,
which is a good,
fucking terrible. It's a joke.
Thinking about it, they want a big moment in Night of Champions. They want to sell the pay-per-view. Sting isn't going to do it by himself, even though that's going to help. Rollins and Cena can't do it either. They're going to need something as a backup. There's something that really pushed the first hour of the show, which I'm assuming it's going to be like in the first hour. When Charlotte wins on Sunday, and I'm going on the record and saying that, it's going to be a huge moment. And why have a title shot 6 days before you have to have every title defended? So either way, 2 title matches are going to happen in 1 week. Should they have done it a month ago? Sure. But that would have taken away the storyline of the AJ Lee and breaking her record. So the way they did it, I think, could have been handled better. But I think the fact that Nikki had to win in a heel way was absolutely perfect. It's going to lead to a great moment, and Charlotte's acting was phenomenal. I mean, I think she was crying just, subconsciously, and it led to a great moment of when the camera zoomed in on her face. It was like her in tears, like the title's going to be taken away seconds after I win it.
Oh, I thought she was crying because of the writing.
Well, that too. That too, but I think that was a bright spot, and Sunday's going to be great for the Divas because of that. That is, if Charlotte wins. If Nikki wins, clean, no interference from Team Submission Sorority. Look it up, kids. And anything of that nature, then they ruined it completely, and the Divas Revolution is over. But it
was over weeks ago, as I said on this very podcast. It was over. And at this point, I'll go even further. Nikki Bella should beat Charlotte on the pay-per-view.
Why is that?
Because the record is already a record.
So now it's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. The heat on that is gone. They came, they saw, they went, they lost some of the steam, and she might as well face a better suited opponent. Charlotte is not the best worker. If you want to talk about someone who still doesn't know how to do a chest chop, who continually botches the figure 8, and whose only thing she can say is "woo!"
No, don't even
20 million times.
Have you seen
times? It's like she's a clone of her father. She has no character.
Have you seen any of her matches on NXT?
Gosh,
you're kidding.
Yes, I have.
They're amazing.
Who did she wrestle?
Let's see, Natalya, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch. I think Dana Brooke and Emma at least once, and they were all great. All of them.
Okay. How many of them are good workers that you just named?
Do you consider Natalya a good worker? I do.
Yeah, I do.
Sasha.
Yeah, I do.
Becky.
I do.
Bayley.
I do.
Emma and Dana Brooke.
Emma's all right. Dana Brooke's not great. Point is, it's just like John Cena. Yeah, he's having the best matches of his career. Sure. Look who he's wrestling. Cesaro, Kevin Owens. Come on, of course he is. He's wrestling some of the best. And it's not to knock Charlotte, but there are better workers, and maybe they're more deserving. I mean, they're going with they're pushing her father with her heavily, and we saw that worked out for David Flair. But anyway,
one bright spot out of this though is that they're pushing Sasha subtly, if you've noticed in the last few weeks.
Yeah, she's great, and hopefully they continue to push her. But I'm just, they lost a lot of steam. The writing was terrible. They did the same damn finish. They did this a couple of months ago, Money in the Bank.
The dusty finish, I know.
They just did it. It's not creative. Who's writing this stuff? Are they just like, they don't want to deal with it? They just copy and paste the finish? It doesn't make any sense. And so then you have the interference thing, and then, oh, well, it was a disqualification. It's the whole thing.
Okay.
The last time they did this, it wasn't, Stephanie comes out, oh, well, this is a disqualification because you did that. But the last time they did the same finish, it was a different result. No one came out and said that was a disqualification. The match continued.
I know. Okay.
And so the whole thing is just inconsistent. There's no continuity. There's no consistency. They have put them in a 3-team deal. They've brought them all in at once. They've given them no characters.
And that was stupid unless they would have dominated everybody. The 3 of them.
And they have not allowed them to succeed. They don't want a Divas Revolution. They want to take the moment of all the women doing well in sports and in media, and they want to ride that wave of success themselves. But it's not a real Divas Resolution. If that's what you think, you're a fucking moron.
Okay, so from here on out, how would you write it? Because the way I would write it is I would have Paige interfere, cost Charlotte the match, or Becky. I don't care. I'd rather see Becky as a heel, honestly. So have Paige or Becky interfere and ruin Charlotte's match. Have Charlotte feud with them or her, whatever. Then have Sasha beat Nikki for the belt at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I see Charlotte lose. I just have Nikki just absolutely fucking destroy her.
Well, then you just ruin Charlotte.
A 30-second squash fest.
That's stupid. You have no you have no appreciation for women's wrestling at all.
Hey, I was alive when Fabulous Moolah was around.
That's fine. That's fine. But, okay, so before we get into our bottom moments of Raw, what's your opinion on the NXT women main eventing the next special in October?
I think that's fine.
That's it. But you don't have any critique, criticism, anything? No? Snide comments? Zero?
No, they're actually going to book them correctly. They're actually going to let them wrestle a long, competitive match. The fans are actually into it because they've done it correctly. And so it's going to be good, and I'm going to watch. It's just that simple.
Maybe it isn't that simple to Kevin Dunn. Honestly.
Kevin Dunn looks like a fucking inbred. Have you ever seen that guy?
Yes.
I'll tell you what. If you've got a fireplace, you want to hire Kevin Dunn. The amount of wood he could chop with his buck teeth would save you so much time and energy.
Ouch,
Unbelievable.
That's so rough. I'm sorry. Okay, bottom moments of Raw. I will start. Number 1, The Miz. The Miz. I hope you caught this. During Miz TV, one of the first lines is that he called Night of Champions Hell in a Cell and didn't correct himself.
Well, who cares? I mean, who cares? It's all the same shit. The matches we have at Night of Champions are probably going to be the matches we have at Hell in a Cell, and he's not on them anyway, so who really cares? Good for him.
I just thought it was funny. I'm like, he said Hell in a Cell. He's not fixing him. Okay. And then a lot of people, Scott Fishman being one of them on Twitter, is like, Vince has to be going nuts backstage. And Scott would know, which I think is great. That's just hilarious. Second portion, just the Dolph. I've been trying to be so cautiously optimistic about this, but it's so dumb. Dolph gave Summer a present, their earrings, and Summer opened them when Rusev wasn't looking, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I think they're just throwing irons in the fire to see if they'll actually stick. And honestly, my third one...
Wait, you actually, that was one of the things you enjoyed?
No, these are my top 3 bad things. Bottom 3 bad things.
So you finally see the light on the Dolph Ziggler-Rusev angle?
The TMZ shit last week ruined it for me. Then I counted out.
It's terrible. It's like a high school drama.
It's TMZ, man.
It is.
That's exactly what it is.
It's terrible. And nobody cares. I mean, you got a guy like Rusev who is so good.
He's funny. He's funny, too.
He's flexible. He can do different things with what he's given, even if it's not great. But they've pigeonholed these people into something that's not good at all, and they've continued it over and over. They keep doing it, and they won't fucking stop. And they do it over and over. Nobody cares. And I'll tell you who cares. Vince McMahon cares because, as I told you before, he's the one popping the Viagra and jacking off while he watches this shit.
Ouch. Wow. South.
Nobody else likes it. Who else would be booking this shit? Nobody else likes it. The fans don't care.
Well, and then again, Lana and Ziggler still get pops. So I don't know. Going just by reactions, they're still getting liked. So in that sense, WWE is screwing up totally.
Lana was already over. That's why she's getting cheers. She had a good thing with Rusev, and they screwed it up. They tried to fix something that wasn't broken. They had a good thing. They wanted to make her the next blonde bombshell. They totally screwed that up.
Which she
is.
They
put him into a stupid angle.
She's very beautiful, and that could work if done correctly.
Yeah, they just don't do anything correctly.
Okay. And honestly, my bottom three is kind of satirical because I didn't really hate anything from the show aside from Mike from The Miz. I want to call him Mike. How dumb. From The Miz saying Hell in a Cell. John Cena faced off against Sheamus. I wanted Orton versus Sheamus, number 287, damn it. That's all. What were your bottom three things?
It's a lot more than three.
Well, you have to pick your least favorite three. That's the whole point of this game.
This game. I don't play well with others. I'll try my best, okay?
But fair.
What I did not like. Well, let's see.
Shouldn't be that hard.
John Cena versus Sheamus. Okay. I don't want to see that match.
Can I interject? The ending was a lot better than I expected, but that's it.
Oh, yeah. You must be referring to where Cena completely no-sold a running. Oh my God!
I tweeted at you too. I'm like, what the no-sell?
This guy is the face of the company, and God damn, can he sell a move? Does he always have to do this? He no-sells a running senton by Sheamus. He pops up like he's Superman, hits the attitude adjustment, and pins him clean, and that's it. And it was like he was never hit with the move.
And that's one of Sheamus' signature moves. That was the best part. I thought funny.
Take a bit. You got that. You've got him trying to do, his submission, and it's just like, he's got the guy's nose 6 inches of space between his face and his fist. Jesus Christ, you are the face of a professional wrestling company, and you can call it entertainment. You can call it sports entertainment. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. It's professional wrestling, and he's got to learn how to fucking do that shit.
I know. I'm with you. I really am.
So John Cena versus Sheamus. No interest, no build-up, not a great match. Cena is no selling. It's just, terrible. It just wasn't good. Next thing on my list was Ryback's...
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm done.
Ryback's in-ring promo.
Oh, that was terrible. I'm sorry. Oh, that's a bright spot. Kevin Owens' promo. That was great.
Yeah, even he couldn't save this, but he's going to be a bright spot.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. Ryback coming out. Of course, Raw is from Memphis. He's singing All Shook Up to a dead silent reaction. Even JBL called it terrible, which means he's Vince's mouthpiece. So Vince probably, damn it, call it terrible. Call it terrible. So, yeah. So it was terrible.
It was.
And whoever is writing Ryback's promos must be fired.
On cue cards. Don't forget the cue cards.
It's terrible. His scripted promos have been absolutely terrible. They don't even fit his character. Some of the stuff he's saying, there's no way that Ryback's character would talk like that. It was ridiculous. Owens, of course, came out and tried to save the segment and made fun of his book and, whatever. It set up the match. It set up the match, I guess. It's just, it is what it is, but that was not great for me at all. Okay. I don't even care about Stardust, the Ascension, the whatever the fuck they're called. I don't care about. I don't even care. It's cosmic crap, is what it is. I I wrote that on my notes. I didn't even pay attention. This is cosmic crap. I'm over it.
So
those were my match notes.
Did you well, because the match never actually started. It wasn't even a match. Which is
I must have blinked and missed it.
There wasn't a match, I promise you. They didn't even ring the damn bell. But okay, would you be behind Cody if he went back to Cody Rhodes or or any of his other gimmicks? Because I must admit, Rhodes is one of the best and most underrated people on that entire roster, and you give him a gimmick and he'll run with it. Stardust has been rocky because of the booking that has been done with it, but damn it, is he talented, and he does know what he's doing. None of his promos are scripted, by the way. Let's throw that out there. They're not at all. He does his own material like Bred, which is funny. That's why two of them are two of the best mic workers in the company. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Cody Rhodes, and I think he's a guy who can take a gimmick, pretty much any kind of gimmick, and make it work pretty well. So, yeah, I would love to see him return to the old Cody Rhodes character, and I would support him. But this is just not. Yeah, it's just nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the Ascension. They suck, and it's a shame because it's not like they're terrible workers. The smaller guy from the Ascension was, I guess, a worker in Canada. Lance Storm had good things to say about him. So, but it's just the characters just suck.
I know.
The creative sucks. We know that. I wasn't a fan, of course, of the Divas Championship, so I would say that as well. JBL called Nikki Bella a fighting champion, which is great until you realize it's been about 2 months since she defended the championship.
And I put on Twitter at John Fisher IQ, by the way, how is she a fighting champion if she hasn't defended her title in a couple of months?
Well, because JBL said so. It must be true.
He is the heel announcer. Okay. Yep. So there's Raw. Wait, did you give us your last thing? You didn't, did you?
It was a good. How about we talk about Cesaro, the burying of Cesaro?
Yeah, what the hell happened?
They just don't believe in him. So
he was the most over. I'm sorry, not the most over. He's top 5 most over in the company. He has his own damn section called the Cesaro section, and they're finally making note of it on TV, which is nice. But so he was top 3 face in the company, just judging by reaction, and they don't do anything. Why not?
Yeah, well, he did win here with a distraction roll-up finish, the most dangerous move in WWE.
The roll-up.
We've seen like 16 or 17 of those this year on Raw alone. It's just absolutely, totally uncreative. Yeah. And then, of course, Rusev is made to look silly after the match. But Cesaro, if you're a fan of Cesaro, don't watch SmackDown. Don't watch SmackDown.
What happened? Tell us.
Well, he's got a match against the Big Show, and the Big Show squashes him in 3 minutes, knocks him with the knockout punch, and pins him clean. So there you go. Well, it's a shit show.
Okay, moving on to Night of Champions, we have our monthly predictions for everybody. Starting off with, will Cesaro be on the card? You can't predict that. He's not on the card.
Yeah. If he is, he'll lose anyway. It's automatic.
Sorry, not sorry. And I gotta write these down for my own sake because I'm gonna forget what I predict. Okay, starting with the Intercontinental Championship match: Kevin Owens versus Ryback.
Kevin Owens versus Ryback. I predict a new Intercontinental Champion.
So do I, Kevin Owens.
I don't understand the point of keeping the championship on Ryback at this point.
He's had one successful defense after being out for a little over a month.
It's been a very underwhelming title reign. His promos have been terrible, which, of course, is creative's fault, not his. But it's just, it's time to move on and give Kevin Owens the ball.
I agree. Kevin Owens it is. Okay, the New Day versus the Dudley Boys, and my answer is going to surprise you, but I want to hear yours first.
The New Day.
Damn it! We agreed. New Day it is. Why do you think so?
Well, damn, this is getting boring.
I know.
I just think the Dudley Boys, I think there's going to be a point where they do win the titles. It's just not going to be at Night of Champions. Nope. I think what we need here is the New Day to get a solid win against the Dudley Boys.
Well, okay, I'll ask you this. Is the New Day, is this championship match in a tables match or TLC match? Or is it a regular 6-man tag? Because that is exactly what is going to change everything. You put these two teams in a tables match or TLC match, Dudley's will win 10 out of 10. They'll actually win 15 out of 10. They're going to win more than the actual matches that occur. But it's a regular 6-man tag, which means you can have a disqualification, which means that's what's a guy. That's exactly what's going to happen. New Day wins, retains their championships until
we can't have a TLC match. We can't have a tables match. We got to save the tables, John.
Exactly. But you do know that if New Day wins on Sunday, the rematch is going to be a tables match. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's probably what they'll win, something like that. But yeah, I think the Dudleys do win. It's not going to be here. And exactly. The New Day just lost the straps. They just got them back.
And they're hot as hell.
It makes no sense for them to lose here.
Okay, so this one, Neville and the Lucha Dragons, who are amazing, which you seem to disagree, versus the Cosmic Wasteland. I was wrong, not Cosmic Chaos. That's a ride at an amusement park. Which one? Who's winning? I feel like it's fairly obvious, but
it is chaos. That's true. And it is a wasteland. This is a wasteland, all right. This is the pre-show match. I do expect Neville and the Lucha Dragons to win.
Yep.
Stardust keeps losing. The Ascension almost never wins. It's a pre-show match. Usually the baby faces go over, so
usually, quote unquote, usually.
Yeah. It's just gonna be boring. Whatever. It's like, who cares?
Well, that's not necessarily true. I love Neville. I think he's fantastic.
He is so short.
So is Shawn Michaels.
God. Shawn Michaels was at least 5'10" in legit, like, real life. Neville is more like 5'5". He's short.
Doesn't matter.
I'm 6'6", John Fisher.
Holy hell, I'm 5'9". Either way, I still,
he's very talented, though. I like Neville. Good worker. Prince Puma, Ricochet, whatever. He's better, but they're similar. Those kind of workers, right. But Neville's good. Lucha Dragons I also like, but it's just this is not a real feud. There's no momentum. There's been no storytelling. It's just throwing these guys together because we have nothing else for them. So it's just not interesting.
Well, you know what? Whenever people were complaining about Stardust moving back to Cody Rhodes after his father died, he said that there's a plan for Stardust and to ride with it. Maybe there's a bigger plan here. You don't know. Probably not, but you just don't know. Okay, moving on. Ziggler,
they can't even come up with a storyline a month ahead of time. I don't think there's anything beyond our wildest imaginations here.
Unless your name is Roman Reigns or Batista. Next match, Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. I have Dolph Ziggler with a surprise return from Lana. She will cost Rusev the match, and it will go to Dolph. In an emphatic return with a cast. She might even slap Rusev with a cast. I don't know. My medical background tells me that should not happen. But Ziggler gets the win here. I think it's fairly obvious after the last one ended in a countout, which was dumb. That's all I got for that one.
This match will end in a no decision.
Again.
After Rusev cuts off Dolph Ziggler's dick. Choppy pee-pee on pay-per-view. Kai and Tai style. I think that's what's going to happen. Write that down.
All right, so no decision. Moving on.
No, I think Ziggler's going to win.
Okay. I'm like,
hey, who cares? I mean, it's who cares who cares. So this feud is so stupid. It's fucking retarded. It's dumb. It's stupid. Nobody cares. Everyone wants it to end. And it just is what it is. Let's trade wins. Let's do whatever. Nobody cares. It's not exciting.
Well, there's Ziggler's his new gimmick, the Dickless Wonder.
The Dickless Wonder, Dolph Ziggler.
China's this.
I'm here to show the world.
Okay, so the Wyatt family faces Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and a mystery guest. It's going to be Vacant. Vacant is their sixth man. That's the answer. Vacant, they're going to win automatically. Vacant never loses. So, no, in all seriousness, it's clearly going to be the brotherhood of not brothers, Dean and Roman, with whoever the hell they're going to be with against the Wyatts. I have them both.
Yeah, I'm going to say Dean and Roman and their mystery partner.
And Vacant. All seriousness, who do you think by the way, Wyatts can't win. Bray can't win 2 pay-per-views in a row. So it has to be Dean and Roman.
No.
So in that vein, who's going to be the mystery partner? I'm still not siding with Eric Rowan. Like I said, I know the shoulder. He injured his shoulder, if I'm not mistaken. And if that is the case, I know the shoulder very well. He cannot recover fully from that injury in that amount of time. He needs a little bit longer, probably till December, to fully he'll be cleared. Daniel Bryan isn't ready to go, so it can't be him. Rumor has it it can't be the USO. It's not going to be Orton. And the only one that I have is a big rumor going around that The Rock might come back. I don't. That would make sense. Yeah. It would make sense, but I don't know. Dean and Roman are going to win no matter what. But as far as a mystery partner, I have no idea who the hell it's going to be. I kind of like it that way. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't know that The Rock. I mean, certainly it's possible, but I wouldn't
expect that. Possible.
I mean, it's a lot of things are possible. I could sprout wings and fucking fly up in the air. A lot of things are possible. But every time he comes back, it's for something big. I don't see that being the case here. No. I don't think so.
But then again, okay, devil's advocate. They want to sell this pay-per-view. Would it not make sense for them to bring in another huge name like Sting to help sell Night of Champions? Because his name alone would bring in millions and millions of viewers immediately as soon as someone. Yeah,
they're not advertising it.
Doesn't matter. The power of Twitter, my friend. The power of social media, they'll find out and tune in immediately.
Tune in immediately if they don't have the WWE network.
Okay.
Boom.
All right. You got me there. But it's still a possibility to get those network numbers. Still.
It reminds me of, they have Sting wrestle on Raw and then they don't advertise ahead of time that Sting's going to be wrestling on Monday Night Raw.
But then where does the shock factor go that WWE used to be so good at?
But they knew he was going to be in the show, so that wasn't there's no secret there. So why not just promote? You already know he's there. Promote he's going to wrestle for the first time on Raw. Let the people get excited. Let the people tune in. Give them a reason to tune in, not tune out.
All right, so who's the third man right now?
Well, I'm not sure if I am supposed to say, but I'm the third man.
Good, Brad. I'm proud.
Yeah, it's my big break. I'm looking forward to it.
So clearly, you have no idea either.
Yeah, no, I don't. It could be Baron Corbin.
It's why bring two young guys up at the same time in the same storyline? That's dumb. That is very dumb.
Have you followed WWE Creative?
Yes.
Yeah, they're very dumb.
Okay, if you had to take a guess, who would it be? Honestly, I have to take Orton just because I know The Rock isn't going to be there. So is it? I'm going with Randy.
What? Randy Orton? It's not Randy Orton.
I hope not. I just reported earlier this week that he's taking time off, so I hope I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it's not Randy Orton. It's not Randy Orton. And if it is, then he'll probably just put me to sleep.
So. Of course he will.
Yeah.
You're not going to give me a guess, so I haven't asked you yet. Okay, moving on. The Divas match: Charlotte versus Nikki. I think we kind of already said ours earlier. I'm still saying Nikki via, and I'm going to write this for Twitter via. Submission sorority interference. Look it up, kids. Submission sorority. Okay.
That might be the only way we get some interest in this bullshit.
Okay. You're right. Maybe. Who's winning? Nikki or Charlotte?
Woo!
Charlotte. Okay. That's an obvious choice. But I'm going against the grain. Okay.
Whatever.
No analysis. No why.
Who really cares? The revolution's dead. This is just back to the old divas. Whatever.
All right, fair enough. And ending in two more matches, both with the same guy. Let's start off with the not main event: Seth Rollins versus Sting. Because no, that is not going to main event the show. I'm taking Seth Rollins. Sting will not hold the belt. He will never.
No, I think it. Oh, yeah, I think it is going to main event the show.
No, that's not what I'm hearing. I don't know who your sources are. It's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing Seth Rollins and Cena is closing the show. Either way, Seth Rollins is the main event. So, but you didn't pick a guy. You just think I'm wrong, which is irrelevant because I'm always right. What's happening? I have Seth Rollins beating Sting. He's not winning the belt.
Yeah. I've kind of gone back and forth on this.
Well, tell me why Sting would win the belt. Why? Why does it make sense?
Well, I'm not saying it does, but how many of their decisions really do?
Okay. It's not going to be Sting.
The fan, the mark in me, would like to see Sting have a moment with the championship, even though his prime has passed him by.
Okay, if Sting wins, you need to have Sheamus cash in. And if that were to happen, Sheamus cashing in, they need to have Sting wrestle at Hell in a Cell against Sheamus. Right?
No, Sheamus can't cash in. He shouldn't have the briefcase. He's not the guy who should be champion. I really hope he loses whenever he cashes in. But,
me too.
I am going to pick Seth Rollins for this match. I don't know how it's going to go down. I just think Seth Rollins, when the bell is rung for that match, it will be Seth Rollins with the championship.
I agree with you. Okay, Seth Rollins, John Cena.
Yeah. So I think John Cena has a legitimate shot, but I think the best thing you can do here, probably to keep Seth Rollins strong, is have him also walk out with the United States Championship as well. I mean, they've booked the guy pretty poorly, and they need to keep him strong. So you do that by having him walk out with both championships. So my prediction, you heard it here, Seth Rollins, both championships, leaving Night of Champions.
I have John Cena walking out as U.S. champ. I think Rollins is going to hold one and get rid of the other, and have Cena hold the belt up until Finn Balor comes up in January, and have Finn Balor beat Cena for the U.S. title, or Sami Zayn, or Hideo Itami. It's going to go to an NXT guy, but it will, or Cesaro, but it is not going to stay with Seth Rollins. Nope, not going to happen.
Well, it's, whatever.
Yeah.
It's
but,
whatever.
Before the podcast ends, good news, Damien Sandow is back. Damien Sandow is back to his...
He's been gone for so long, he forgot his name.
I know. Believe it or not. Sandow has been seen, and you know what? Filibuster, Brad, because I'm going to find an article that is telling me exactly what I want to say. Apparently, Damien Sandow is reverting back to an old gimmick.
He is. So.
And it is. Yep. Go for it, man.
So he had the intellectual savior of the masses gimmick. This is very similar. He's actually wearing the same ring gear, but it's something more along the lines of, the common sense sort of thing. So it's very similar, if not the exact same thing. He's wearing the exact same ring gear, except he is actually a face. He did wrestle as a baby face. He actually wrestled on, I believe it was Main Event, and beat Adam Rose, who also has a new gimmick, the Party Pooper, which is just another example of how incompetent creative is, taking a guy with a lot of buzz from the ESPN NXT special, someone you want to like, someone with a real interesting personal story, and what do? You fail to capitalize on it. You totally ignore it, and you continue with a terrible gimmick. Great job.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do, because I love Damien Sandow. Great guy, great wrestler.
Yeah, they just view him as mid-card.
I know. Hey, maybe they can have a feud between Sandow and Cesaro. Who knows? I would pay money for that.
Yeah. And that's okay. Not everyone can be main event. I get that, but give him some mic time. Give him some time to have a feud that has some emotion, has some meaning, and the people will get behind it.
You're absolutely right. So it's 7:30. I think we're done. Brad, do your thing.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. And I know we've been joined also by some of the listeners at topropepress.com. So I appreciate you guys listening.
Yes.
Saw that on the Twitter machine. So you can follow me on Twitter at the Brad Shepard, TheBradShepard.
Listen,
the Brad Shepard.
You don't have to spell everything out like phonetically. I'm pretty sure Ryback can read it like a little bit.
I don't know.
Well, I'm missing my cue card, so I can't actually promote myself. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm funny sometimes. You can follow me at John Fisher IQ, my first name without the H, Fisher as it's pronounced without a C, and the letters IQ at the end, because that's what I work for. You can do that. And you can also follow Top Rope Press at Top Rope Press. Great website. I heard a few things about them. They're pretty cool. But other than that, I think we're off. Next week, we are talking Raw, NXT.
Night of Champions pay-per-view results.
Yeah. Oh, well, that wasn't like a lead-in for you. Like my cue cards got taken away. See? I'm killing jokes.
He's drunk, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm straight edge. I've had a few Pepsis before this, which means I'm quitting the show. See you later. Anyway, we take care, everybody. Same website, same link, same time, same ears. We will see you all next week. Brad, say goodbye.
Peace.
Bye-bye.